Then we have started our discussion on ionization energy or ionization potential or ionization enthalpy. The term enthalpy matlab heat, the amount of heat which you are supplying to remove the electron from the outermost shell of an isolated gaseous atom. You need to mark this. You need to remember that the electron must be removed from an isolated gaseous atom. If it is not isolated in the presence of other atoms, the value of ionization energy may differ. Okay, so the definition involves isolated gaseous atom. As you are removing an electron, you need to supply energy in order to separate the electron from the attractive forces of the nucleus. Hence, the process will be endothermic. If you don't want to show the energy in the equation, you can show it as delta H. If delta H is positive, it represents an endothermic reaction. If delta H is negative, it represents an exothermic reaction. So the equation for ionization energy can be written as A gaseous gives rise to A positive gaseous plus an electron, and delta H is equals to plus Q. This Q is nothing but the ionization energy. In general, we use the symbol Q for heat. इसलिए Q करके मैं mark किया इधर. The process of loss of electrons is termed as oxidation, and the process of gain of electrons is termed as reduction. As in this particular case, you are removing an electron from an isolated gaseous atom. Ionization can also be treated as oxidation of a given atom. Okay. In the process, you are forming a cation, and the units for energy are electron volt per atom, joule per atom, or kilojoules per mole, or kilocalories per mole. And we have seen the concept of successive ionization energy. Whenever you are removing electrons one by one from the atom, after removing an electron, the Z star of the atom increases. So if you are removing the electrons successively, the Z star keeps on increasing, and the process of removing electron becomes tougher and tougher. Okay. So you need to input more and more energy in order to remove the electron. So the successive ionization energy is always increased. And whenever you see a sudden jump in the ionization energy, we can confirm there is a shift in the shell, right? इसी particular case में, if I'm taking the example of aluminium, after removal of 3 electrons, the 4th electron is being removed from the second shell. The first 3 electrons are removed from the third shell, but the 4th electron is removed from the second shell. So as there is change in the shell, there will be huge jump in the ionization energy. So IE3 or IE4 के बीच में you can observe a huge difference that indicates a change in shell. So this particular process, successive ionization energy, is जो भी concept है, it is used for counting the number of outermost shell electrons or the valence electrons. Okay. So if you want to count number of valence shell electrons in an unknown atom, start removing the electrons. Whenever you are removing the electrons, whenever there is sudden jump in the ionization energy, you can say the shell got changed. Okay. This is also one of the standard questions. They will give you the ionization energies and they will ask you the number of valence shell electrons. So in this particular question, you can see a jump after removal of the 4th electron. Okay, for the removal of the 5th electron, the energy that is required is very high. So I can say the number of valence shell electrons are 4. Okay. Then we have discussed the factors affecting the ionization energy, Z star. Z star tells us about the effect of the nucleus on the outermost electron. More is the influence of the nucleus on the outermost electron, more will be the energy that is required to remove an electron. Hence, Z star is directly proportional to ionization energy. Shielding effect: if the outermost electron is shielded from the nucleus cannot see the outermost electron. In that case, I can easily remove the outermost electron. Hence, ionization energy is inversely proportional to shielding effect. Number of shells of the atomic radius: if the atomic radius increases, the electron will be going away and away from the nucleus. As a result, ionization energy decreases. Okay, ये 3 factors तो normal है. Stability of the electronic configuration: if you take nitrogen and oxygen, nitrogen belongs to group 15 and oxygen belongs to group 16, right? So according to Z star, according to the general order, we have to predict oxygen should have a greater ionization energy when compared to nitrogen. But actual में क्या होता है? nitrogen has a greater ionization energy than oxygen. That is because of its stability of the half fill configuration. In this case, nitrogen has half fill configuration, which is a symmetric configuration. In general, symmetry leads to more stability. So this particular configuration has more stability when compared to this configuration. So if you want to disturb nitrogen's configuration, you need to input more and more energy when compared to oxygen. Moreover, if you are removing an electron from this particular oxygen, it will be achieving that symmetric configuration. Okay. So group 15 elements. Group 15 elements will be having a greater ionization energy when compared to the corresponding group 16 elements. Matlab phosphorus will be having a greater ionization energy than sulfur. Okay. ठीक. Then we have seen penetration effect. And s orbital, being symmetrical in shape, is more penetrated towards the nucleus when compared to the p orbital and d orbital. Okay. For a given shell, the order of penetration is s greater than, p greater than, d greater than f. So an electron which is present in s orbital will be more and more attracted by the nucleus when compared to p, then d, then f. Okay. So if you are taking the example of beryllium and boron again, the Z star in boron is greater when compared to the Z star in beryllium. So expected order is boron should have greater ionization energy when compared to beryllium. But actual mein kya hoga? Beryllium is having a greater ionization energy because in beryllium you are removing the electron from the s orbital, whereas in boron you are removing the electron from p orbital, which is less penetrated towards the nucleus. Or else you can say group 2 will be having a greater ionization energy when compared to group 13 elements, right? Everyone? Okay. So overall order, what is the overall order? Group 18 greater than, group 17 greater than, group 15 greater than, group 16 greater than, 14 greater than, 2 greater than, 13 greater than 1.
30.
Okay. A general order, this general order for ionization energy is very important. उससे direct question आएगा आप लोग को. They may ask you to compare IE1 or IE2 or IE3. Whenever they're asking for IE1 or direct, if they are asking for IE2, after removing an electron, you need to compare. So whenever you are removing an electron, there will be a shift in the group. Okay, group 18 will act as group 17 element, 17 will act as 16, 16 will act as 15, 15 will act as 14, 14 will act as 13, 13 will act as 2, and 2 will act as 1. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, then we have seen some questions. I hope ये सब लोग को clear है. Exceptions are very important. In group 13 you have an oscillating trend, and that oscillating trend is because of aluminum and gallium and indium and thallium. Aluminum और gallium के केस में क्या होता है? If you compare the atomic radius, gallium is supposed to have a greater atomic radius when compared to aluminum because of more number of shells. But in gallium, just before gallium, we fill 3D subshell. 3D subshell has 10 electrons, and d orbitals has poor shielding, and it has poor shielding because of presence of two nodal planes. Because of poor shielding effect of 10d electrons, the Z star in gallium increases by a significant amount. Because of the greater Z star, the atomic radius, we expect it to be lesser when compared to aluminum. Those two factors. One factor is more number of shells in gallium. The other factor is greater Z star in gallium. These two factors counterbalance, and the atomic radius of aluminum will become almost equal to the atomic radius of gallium. Right? ये वाला exception atomic radius में देखा हमने. Okay? So both gallium and aluminum has similar atomic radius, but gallium having greater Z star will have greater ionization energy. So boron is having greater ionization energy when compared to aluminum. Aluminum has lesser when compared to gallium. Gallium के बाद down the group, okay, down the group ionization energy decreases, right? So gallium will be having greater ionization energy than indium, and again indium will be having lesser than thallium. Again, the reason being Just before thallium, you will be filling 4F subshell. 4F subshell has further poor shielding effect when compared to the D subshell. Okay, so because of that, again Z star significantly increases in case of thallium. As a result, the ionization energy of thallium becomes greater when compared to the ionization energy of indium. Okay, so in group 13, ये याद रखना, you have oscillating trend, a greater, a lesser, greater or lesser. Okay. Group 14 के केस में the effect is not seen between silicon and germanium, but the effect is seen between tin and lead. The reason being 4F subshell electrons has more poor shielding effect when compared to the D subshell electrons. इसलिए वो जो particular effect है next group तक गया, group 14 तक गया. यहाँ पे ये जो है D में the shielding of D is not so poor when compared to F. इसके वजह से इधर तक नहीं आया वो effect. Group 13 के बाद group 14 में there is no effect for silicon and germanium, but the effect got continued in case of tin and lead. That is because of further poor shielding effect of F subshell. याद है ना ये वाला पार्ट सबको?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ठीक है. I hope these exceptions are clear. I'm going to next section, electron affinity. Okay, electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. The term affinity indicates tendency to accept an electron. If it is having a positive tendency to accept an electron, in that case, the system will be achieving stability. If something achieves stability, always the energy of the system must be decreased. So the electron gain enthalpy will be negative. Okay, electron affinity and electron gain enthalpy are negative to each other. If an atom is having positive affinity to accept an electron, then in that case it will be releasing energy. So whenever it gains electron, the enthalpy change will be negative. It will be releasing energy, exothermic. Okay, electron affinity and electron gain enthalpy are opposite to each other. ये याद रखना. And electron affinity is defined as the amount of energy released when an electron is added to the outermost shell of an isolated gaseous atom. In general, always the first electron gain enthalpy will be exothermic. Matlab always the energy will be released. This is in general, apart from some particular elements. Okay. Successive electron gain enthalpies will always be endothermic, because after giving an electron, the atom will be converting into an anion. For the anion, if you want to give one more electron, there will be repulsive forces between the negative charges. As a result, you need to put some energy in order to place the electron in the outermost shell. So only the first electron gain enthalpy will be exothermic. Successive electron gain enthalpies will be endothermic. In case of ionization energies, the first, second, third, all the successive ionization energies will always be endothermic, and always they will be increased. IE1 is less than, IE2 is less than, IE3 is less than, IE4, so on and so forth. In case of electron affinity, only the first electron affinity is positive or electron gain enthalpy is negative. The successive electron gain enthalpies will be endothermic. Okay. Okay. The process in general, if I am talking for the first electron gain enthalpy, it is exothermic. An anion is formed. The process of gaining of electrons is termed as reduction, hence it is reduction of the atom. The units will be electron volt per atom or joule per atom, kilojoule per mole or kilocalories per mole. ये वाला point बहुत important है. If you are forming a polyvalent anion मतलब you are giving more than one electron. The process of formation of polyvalent anion will always be endothermic. First electron add करते समय जितना भी energy release हो रहा है, on putting the second electron, उससे भी ज़्यादा energy आपको देना पड़ेगा. So overall process देखा तो, if you are adding these two equations, the overall energy is nothing but endothermic. Positive value आएगा हमेशा. You can take oxygen, you can take sulfur, you can take nitrogen, whichever element you take, always the formation of polyvalent anion will always be endothermic. ये वाला पॉइंट याद रखना सब लोग. ओके, ठीक है. उसके बाद हमने कुछ सिंपल लॉजिक्स देखा है. आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी ऑफ मोनोवैलेंट एनियन is nothing but the electron affinity of a neutral atom. Ionization energy of a neutral atom is nothing but electron affinity of a monovalent cation. ठीक है. Factors affecting, again Z star, it is directly proportional. जितना ज़्यादा Z star रहेगा उतना जल्दी इलेक्ट्रॉन लेने के लिए कोशिश करेगा और उतना ही ज़्यादा टेंडेंसी होगा. Shielding effect, if the electron is shielded from the nucleus, the tendency for the acceptance of the nucleus will become less, hence electron affinity is inversely proportional to shielding effect. Atomic radius, जितना दूर आके रहेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन उतना ही कम टेंडेंसी होगा इलेक्ट्रॉन को लेने के लिए, hence electron affinity is inversely proportional to the atomic radius. Stability of the configuration, in the stability of the configuration you need to focus on three groups: group 18, group 15 and group 2. Group 18 has noble gas configuration or completely filled shell. So if you want to disturb that particular configuration, you need to put some energy. Okay. Even the first electron gain enthalpy of group 18 elements is positive or endothermic. Okay. For group 15 and group 2 elements, group 2 elements has NS2 configuration and group 15 elements has NS2-NP3 configuration. Both of these have some stable electronic configurations. NS2 configuration is completely filled s orbital configuration. NS2-NP3 configuration is half filled p orbital configuration. So both these configurations are relatively stable. Hence, whenever you are adding an electron, they will be having less electron affinity. Okay, they will be having lesser tendency to accept the electron. And even in these groups, group 2 or group 15 में beryllium, magnesium and nitrogen, they have negative electron affinities. Beryllium, magnesium and nitrogen have negative electron affinities. मतलब even the first electron gain enthalpy of these three elements, beryllium, magnesium and nitrogen, they are endothermic. Okay, you need to forcefully give the electron. Okay. So overall, if you compare, group 17 has the highest electron affinity because upon acceptance of an electron, they will be converting into noble gases. Moreover, group 17 has greater Z star. उसके बाद group 17 के बाद group 16, after group 16, group 14, group 14 के बाद group 13, group 13 के बाद group 1, after group 1, group 15, because you are disturbing half filled p orbital configuration. After group 15, group 2, because you are disturbing completely filled s orbital configuration. And in the last, you have group 18, because group 18 has noble gas configuration, completely filled configuration. Okay. आप लोग को इसमें याद क्या रखना है? The elements having positive first electron gain enthalpy: beryllium, magnesium and nitrogen, and noble gases. Okay. Clear है? ठीक है. The exceptions of electron affinity are very important, and you will get direct questions. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. The expected order is fluorine greater than, bromine greater than iodine, because down the group, as the atomic radius increases, electron affinity must decrease. But the actual order is fluorine. Chlorine is slightly greater when compared to fluorine. So chlorine greater than, bromine greater than iodine. This is the actual order. Reason being, in fluorine, you are giving the electron to the second shell, and in chlorine, you are giving the electron to the third shell. As second shell is smaller, the repulsive forces from the already existing electrons will be greater in case of fluorine when compared to the repulsive forces from the already existing electrons in chlorine. In chlorine, the electrons are present in third shell. Matlab, the electrons are distributed in a greater area, or the repulsive forces among the electrons are relatively less. In fluorine, the electrons are present in the second shell, or they are present in a smaller area. Repulsive forces are more. Okay. So electron affinity of fluorine becomes slightly less when compared to the electron affinity of chlorine. Similar thing happens in group 16. The expected order is oxygen greater than sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. But because of lesser Z star, अभी ऑक्सीजन के केस में क्या है, इन ग्रुप 17 द Z star is more. ग्रुप 16 में Z star भी कम है, रिपल्सिव फोर्सेस भी ज्यादा है. इसके वजह से ऑक्सीजन में इलेक्ट्रॉन एफिनिटी सबसे कम हो जाएगा. It goes to the last. Very important. Remember this, everyone. Okay. इस केस में there is only one place shift हुआ. Fluorine is lesser than only chlorine. But in this case, देखो बहुत shift हुआ. Oxygen सबसे लास्ट में चला गया. That is because of lesser Z star in group 16. Okay. ठीक है. Then we have seen combined applications of electron affinity and ionization energy. What is meant by a metal? A metal is characterized by loss of electrons. Loss of electrons matlab in a way you are removing electrons. If you are removing electrons, the property which you need to concentrate is the ionization energy. Okay. So left to right, as ionization energy increases, metallic character decreases. Top to bottom, as ionization energy decreases, metallic character increases. And if you are comparing the non-metallic character, a non-metal is characterized by gaining of electrons. If it is gaining electrons, the property which you need to concentrate on is electron affinity. Left to right, as electron affinity increases, non-metallic character increases. Top to bottom, as electron affinity decreases, non-metallic character decreases. Okay. Then we have seen reducing and oxidizing nature. Reducing nature matlab a reducing agent reduces others, itself gets oxidizes. If it is getting oxidized, it is losing electrons. If it is losing electrons, you need to compare its ionization energy. An oxidizing agent oxidize others, itself gets reduced. Reduced matlab it is gaining electrons. If it is gaining electrons, you need to compare its electron affinity. So for a reducing agent, you need to compare the ionization energy. For an oxidizing agent, you need to compare the electron affinity. So left to right, as ionization energy increases, reducing agent nature decreases. Top to bottom, as ionization energy decreases, reducing agent nature increases. Similarly, left to right, as electron affinity increases, oxidizing agent nature increases. Electron affinity decrease हुआ तो oxidizing agent nature decrease होगा. Okay, I hope this is clear, everyone. Okay. Okay. Then we have seen metallic oxides जो है, those are basic in nature. Non-metallic oxides जो है, those are acidic in nature. As you go from left to right, as there is transition from metallic character to non-metallic character, there can be amphoteric oxides which have the properties of both acidic as well as basic. Okay, which behaves both as acid as well as base. Okay, and उसी particular context में हमने एनहाइड्राइड भी करके कुछ बात किया. Water anhydrides, whenever you are removing water from a given acid, whenever you are removing H2O from an acid, the left out part is called as anhydride. Like if you are taking H3PO4, H3PO4 के अंदर से you need to remove water all, but if you are removing H2O, you will be left with HPO3. Even in that case, there is hydrogen left inside the acid. So whenever you have odd number of hydrogens, उसको even में convert करके remove all possible water molecules. So H3PO4 को multiply it with 2, it will become H6P2O8. Now remove H2O molecules. You can remove 3 H2O molecules. Minus 3 H2O will give you P2O5. Okay. So this P2O5 is called as anhydride of H3PO4. In general, they will give you the acid and they will ask you what is the anhydride of this particular acid. If it has even number of hydrogens, directly remove the water molecules, all possible water molecules. If it has odd number of hydrogens, multiply it with 2 and remove the water molecules. Like in this particular case, HClO4 or HClO3. HClO4 का anhydride वो लोग पूछ रहे तो multiply it with 2, H2Cl2O8. You can remove one H2O molecule. After removing H2O, you will be left with Cl2O7. So Cl2O7 is called as anhydride of HClO4. मतलब क्या है? If you are taking Cl2O7 and if you are putting that in water, you will get HClO4. Similarly, if you are having SO3, if you are putting that in water, you will get H2SO4. So SO3 is called as anhydride of H2SO4. Similarly, H1O3 is anhydride is N2O5. H2CO3 is anhydride is CO2. Okay. ठीक है. Then we have seen electronegativity. You need to understand the difference between electronegativity and electron affinity. Both of them tells us about the influence of the nucleus on the electron. But electron affinity is the property of the isolated atom. Electron negativity is the property of the bonded atom. Electronegativity comes into picture only in case of bonding. Okay. ठीक है. And जो electron negativity है, it is a relative value. It has no units. It is dimensionless. Electron affinity जो है, it has an absolute value, and the units are equal to the electron volt per atom or kilojoules per mole, kilocalories per mole, etc. Okay. Okay. The variation of electron affinity, sometimes it has some irregular behavior, but electron negativity has a regular trend. Left to right, electron negativity increases, top to bottom, electron negativity decreases. Okay. Z star, it is directly proportional to Z star, and it is inversely proportional to atomic radius, and it is related to ionization energy and electron affinity by, and it is given by electron negativity on Millikan scale is equals to IE plus EA upon 2. It has direct relation with ionization energy and electron affinity. More are the values of IE and EA, more will be the value of electron negativity. Based on oxidation state, if the positive oxidation state increases, the Z star increases or the electron negativity increases. If the negative oxidation state increases, the Z star decreases or the electron negativity decreases. Okay. ठीक है, ये सब देखा हमने. हाँ, inert gases have zero electron negativity because in general they don't form any bonds, and the electron negativity of an inert gas is taken as 0. Group 1 elements have the lowest electron negativity because of the smallest Z star. Group 17 elements has the greatest electron negativity. Okay. Then we have seen Pauling scale values. According to Pauling, or we know that fluorine is the most electronegative element. So उसको उसने value 4 fix किया. Based on fluorine, he has assigned values for all other elements. Okay. You need to remember the electronegativity values of these elements. ये जो elements का दिया हुआ है, you need to definitely remember those values, and the elements with same electronegativity values. ये आप लोग को definitely याद रखना पड़ेगा. ये लेफ्ट में ये पीरियड एलिमेंट्स में याद रखना आसान है. फ्लोरीन से लेफ्ट जाते समय decrease it by 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, you will get the electronegativities of that particular period. Oxygen is 3.5, nitrogen 3, carbon 2.5, boron 2, beryllium 1.5, lithium 1. You can compare other elements by knowing the fact down the group electronegativity decreases. So sodium jo hai, it will be having a lesser electronegativity than 1. Beryllium will be having electronegativity between 1 and 1.5, so on and so forth. Okay. ठीक है. ठीक है. No need to remember this particular formula, not so important, but you need to remember the electronegativity on Millikan scale, which is IE plus EA upon 2. Remember, you need to substitute the value of ionization energy and electron affinity in electron volt per atom. Okay. And the values on Millikan scale are 2.8 times the values on Pauling scale. So if you want to have the value on Pauling scale, just divide the value of the Millikan scale by 2.8. Okay. And if you want to calculate in other units, you can do the conversions. Applications of electronegativity is very, very important. First is to judge the metallic and non-metallic character. Metals have lower value of electronegativity, or they have higher value of electropositivity. Non-metals have higher value of electronegativity. Bond length. Whenever you are comparing a given factor in a period or in a group, for same period elements always compare using electronegativity. For same group elements, use atomic radius for the comparison. Very important. So if you are comparing the bond length of CH4, NH3, H2O, and HF, okay, you need to compare now all these elements, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, they belong to same period. So you need to compare using electronegativity difference, but not using atomic radius. Okay. More is the electronegativity difference. More is the electronegativity difference. More will be the partial charges. More are the charges, there will be greater attractive forces generated. As a result, the atoms will be coming close to each other. If the atoms are coming close to each other, the bond length decreases. Okay. So in this case, the bond length of C bond H is the highest and the bond length of F bond H is the least. And we have compared this based on electronegativity difference. जितना ज़्यादा electronegativity difference रहेगा उतना ही ज़्यादा charges बनेंगे. More are the charges. Whenever there are charges in the system, there will be generation of attractive forces. Because of those attractive forces, atoms will be coming further close to each other. Okay. ठीक है. उसके बाद we have seen bond energy. Okay. उससे पहले in the group you need to compare using atomic radius. More is the atomic radius, obviously the bond length increases. So HF less than, HCl less than, HBr less than, HI. The bond length and bond energy will always be inversely proportional. More is the bond length, easily the bond can be broken, or the bond energy will be less. Less is the bond length, it will be difficult to break the bond, or the bond energy will be more. So if you want to compare bond energy, you can exactly write the reverse order of bond length. So HF is greater than, HCl greater than, HBr is greater than HI. And for the same period elements, CH4 is less than, NH3 less than, H2O less than, HF. Okay. ठीक है. Then we have seen the acidic nature of hydroacids. In case of hydroacids, again, if the central element belong to same group, you need to compare based on atomic radius, and if it belongs to same period, you need to compare based on electronegativity. What is an acid? An acid is one which gives you H plus. So if they are asking you to compare the strength of different acids, you need to compare based on the number of H plus which it is furnishing. Okay. So hota kya hai, whenever I am putting this particular HX in water, it will be dissociating into H positive and X minus. Okay. X minus being negatively charged and H positive being positively charged, there will be attractive forces between these two. Hence, there is a possibility for the combination of X minus with H positive to convert back into HX. So if more and more X minus are combining with H positive, the H positive in the system will be decreased and the acidic strength of the HX decreases. If X minus is not combining with H positive, then the H positive in the system will be more, and we say it will be a stronger acid. Okay. So you need to compare the strength of an acid based on the stability of this X minus. If this X minus is relatively stable, it won't be combining back with H positive. If this X minus is unstable, it will try to combine back with H positive and the acidic strength decreases. So the stability of this X minus will be compared based on if it belongs to same group or if it belongs to same period. Okay. If these X minus belong to same group, you need to compare based on its size. If this X minus belongs to same period, you need to compare based on its electronegativity. Like if you are taking the example of HF, HCl, HBr and HI, all these elements belong to the same group. So you need to compare based on the atomic radius. Okay. And based on the atomic radius, इसका stability का discussion क्यों हो रहा है? Because it is having negative charge. If more and more negative charge is concentrated in a smaller region, it is unstable. In that case, it will be combining back with H positive immediately. Okay. So F minus, Cl minus, Br minus and I minus. The order of charge density is F minus greater than, Cl minus greater than, Br minus greater than, I minus. So the order of stability will become F minus less than, Cl minus less than, Br minus less than, I minus. So if I am putting HF and HI in water, the formed F minus will combine back with H positive more and more when compared to the formed I minus, because F minus is unstable. Okay. So the order of acidic strength becomes HF less than, HCl less than, HBr less than, HI. I hope this is clear to everyone. This is a very important question to compare the strength of the acid in a group as well as in a period. आप लोग को ध्यान में क्या रखना है? You need to compare the strength of the or stability of this negatively charged species formed. If the formed negatively charged species is more stable, no need to worry, it will be a stronger acid. If the formed negatively charged species is very less stable, it will be a weaker acid. Okay. Similarly, इस particular case में भी these elements belong to same period. So if you are comparing the stability of the negatively charged species, you need to compare based on electronegativity. Fluorine being the most electronegative element, it can effectively handle that particular negative charge. Carbon being the least electronegative element among these elements, it is unable to handle this particular negative charge. So it will try to combine back with H positive and it will convert into CH4. Okay. So if you are comparing among CH4, NH3, H2O and HF, HF is the strongest acid followed by H2O, NH3 and CH4. Okay. Similarly, H2O, H2S, H2SC, H2T, all of them belong to the same group. So greater is the size. You can simply say greater is the size, more will be the stability of the negatively charged species, stronger will be the acid. PH3, H2S, HCl, all of them belong to again same period. More is the electronegativity in general, more will be the acidic strength. Okay. Then we have analyzed how to analyze the nature of the bond. There are two types of bonds in general, covalent as well as ionic. If the electronegativity difference is greater than 1 point, if there is no electronegativity difference first, then the bond will be 100% covalent. There can never be a 100% ionic bond, because whenever an atom is losing electron, its Z star always increases, and whenever an atom is gaining electron, its Z star always decreases. So for the species whose Z star got increased, it will always tries to influence the electrons which it has lost. So ये जो electrons उसने दे दिया, it will try to pull those electron density. Whenever it is pulling that electron density, some of the electron density will be shared between A and B, leading to covalent character. So always there will be generation of some amount of covalent character in any ionic bond. There can never be 100% ionic bond, but there can be 100% covalent bond. 100% covalent bond कब possible है? Whenever you are having a pure covalent bond between similar elements. If A and B are same, or if A and B are having similar electronegativity, the electrons that are shared will be present exactly at the center, which is nothing but 100% covalent bond. So if the electronegativity difference is more and more, if the electronegativity difference is more and more, the ionic character will be more and the covalent character will be less. If the electronegativity difference is less, then the covalent character will be more and the ionic character will be less. If the electronegativity difference is exactly 1.7, it is 50% covalent and 50% ionic. You can calculate the percentage ionic character in a given covalent molecule using this particular formula. You can remember this formula, but not so important. No need to worry. अगर आप लोग ये याद भी नहीं रखा चलेगा. Nature of the oxides. If the electronegativity difference is 2.3, they are considered to be amphoteric. Greater than 2.3, it will be a basic oxide. Less than 2.3, it will be an acidic oxide. In case of hydroxides, the general formula for hydroxide is MOH. If the electronegativity difference between M and O is greater, then this particular bond will be broken. In that case, it will be acting as base. And if the electronegativity difference between oxygen and hydrogen is greater, in that case, ये वाला bond break होगा and it will be acting as an acid. Okay. So depending upon that, you can see if it acts as an acid or a base. इसके ऊपर questions भी last exam में आप लोग को दिए होंगे, ठीक है. In case of oxy acids का मतलब ये है one which has OH, and the bond between O and H will be broken always. Okay. So in that case, if the elements are belonging to same period, more is the electronegativity, more will be the acidic strength. इनका reasons जो है we will be seeing in further chapters. अभी नहीं बताया मैं आप लोग को. We will understand the reasons after studying chemical bonding and some concepts of organic. Okay. In a group, as the size of the central atom increases, acidic strength decreases. Okay. But in case of hydroacids के case में क्या होता है? If the size of the central element increases, acidic strength increases. Hi greater than, HBr greater than, HCl greater than, HF. But in case of oxy acids, as the size of the central element increases, the acidic strength decreases, which can be explained by a concept called back bonding. We will be explaining this in chemical bonding chapter. Okay. This particular case में the central element is same. In that case, if the oxygen content increases, the acidic strength increases, which is explained by a concept called resonance. बाद में देखेंगे. All of them belong to same group. If the size of the central element increases, acidic strength decreases. All of them are belonging to the same period. If the electronegativity of the central atom increases, acidic strength increases. Okay. I think यहाँ तक किया हमने. Let us study about inert pair effect. This is the last concept in periodic properties, which is very, very important. I hope everyone is present in the lecture.
Yes, sir.
Okay. बोर हो गया क्या आप लोग? ठीक है. Okay. If I'm taking group 13, group 14, and group 15. Group 14 elements: boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium. What is the general electronic configuration of group 13? General electronic configuration.
NH2
NH2. Very good. NH2 and P1. Okay. If I take group 14 elements: carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, or lead. Okay. Their general electronic configuration is NH2 and P2. If I take group 15 elements, you have nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. Their electronic configuration is NH2 and P3. Okay. If you analyze the valency of these elements, what is meant by valency? Anyone?
Outermost configuration.
What is meant by valency?
Tendency to move outermost.
Okay. We will again see the detailed definition of valency in chemical bonding. As of now, आप लोग इतना याद रखना, valency can be treated as the number of electrons which are participating in bonding. The number of outermost shell electrons which are participating in bonding. Okay. So in general, whenever something participates in bonding, either only the NP electrons can participate in bonding, or both NS and NP electrons can participate. Everyone, only the NP electrons can participate in bonding, or both NS and NP electrons can participate in bonding. ये समझ में आया?
Yes.
Okay, so if only NP electrons are participating in bonding, what will be the valency of group 13?
1.
1.
1.
Okay, group 14 it will be
2.
2, group 15 it will be 3. If both NS and NP electrons are participating in bonding, both NS and NP, in that case
3.
for group 13 it will be 3, for group 14 it will be 4, and group 15 it will be 5. So the common oxidation states or the common valencies of group 13 elements is either it can have a valency of 1 or it can have a valency of 3. For group 14 elements, they exhibit two valencies, one is 2 or 4. And for group 15 elements, they exhibit two valencies, either 3 or 5. ये वाला part clear है? ठीक है. These are the valencies that are exhibited by group 14, group 15 and group 13 elements. Group 14 element can never show a valency of 3. It can either show a valency of 2 or valency of 4. Similarly, group 13 elements will show a valency of either 1 or 3. Group 15 elements will show a valency of 3 or 5. Okay. ठीक है, इनका periods भी mark कर रहा हूं मैं, period numbers. What is the period number of boron? It is 2, right?
2.
3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Okay. From which period D subshell starts?
3.
From which period D subshell starts?
4.
4.
Period.
Period just before gallium, you will be filling 3D, right?
Yes.
Okay. Indium के पहले there is 4D and thallium से पहले you have 5D as well as 4F. 5D as well as 4F. Okay. ठीक है. According to inert pair effect, होता क्या है? If you go down the group, stability of lower oxidation state down the group, stability of lower oxidation state increases and higher oxidation states decreases. मतलब क्या है? Suppose if you are taking thallium, lead and bismuth. For thallium, what are the two possible oxidation states?
+1 +3.
Either it can show +1 or it can show +3. What is the statement? Down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state increases and higher oxidation state decreases. And in case of period 6 elements, the lower oxidation state is always more stable than the higher oxidation state. मतलब क्या है? In case of thallium, इसका +1 oxidation state जो भी है, it will be more stable than +3 oxidation state. If you take for boron का +3 is more stable when compared to +1. Down the group क्या होता जाता है? वो जो +3 oxidation states है उनका stability घटता जाएगा and इनका +1 oxidation states जो भी है उनका stability बढ़ता जाएगा. And when they come to group 6, the stability of the lower oxidation state becomes higher when compared to the stability of higher oxidation state. ये वाला पॉइंट समझ में आया? इनिशियली होता क्या है, these elements in period 2 elements, the higher oxidation states of them are more stable than lower oxidation states. मतलब इसका जो +3 जो है बोरॉन का, +3 is more stable than +1, कार्बन का +4 is more stable than +2, नाइट्रोजन का +5 is more stable than +3. But as you go down the group, the stability of the higher oxidation states decreases. मतलब the +3 of aluminium will be lesser than the +3 of boron. The +3 of gallium will be lesser stable when compared to the +3 of aluminium. Okay, the stability of the higher oxidation state decreases and the stability of the lower oxidation states increases. मतलब the +1 of aluminium will be more stable when compared to the +1 of boron. Okay, and as you go down the group, and if you reach period 6, the stability of its lower oxidation state becomes higher when compared to the stability of its higher oxidation state. +1 is more stable or will become more stable when compared to +3, and +2 of lead will be more stable than +4 of lead. +5 of bismuth will be more stable than +3 of bismuth. इसका रीजन क्या है? +3 का मतलब क्या हुआ? In a way you need to remove 3 electrons. +4 मतलब you need to remove 4 electrons. If you can observe in period 6, just before thallium or before lead or before bismuth, you have filled 5d and 4f completely. The shielding effect or the shielding power of D subshell and F subshell is very poor. Because of greater number of nodal planes inside D and F. ये सबको पता है ना? Because of the poor shielding of D and F, what happens to Z star in thallium, lead and bismuth?
Increase.
It is increased. It is increased very significantly. So if you +3 का मतलब क्या है? You need to remove 3 electrons. Removal of 3 electrons will become difficult in thallium, and removal of 4 electrons will become difficult in case of lead, and removal of 5 electrons will become difficult in case of bismuth. और else उसका उल्टा सोचते हैं. Suppose मान लेते 3 electrons निकाल दिया. Okay. Suppose मान लेते thallium is in its +3 oxidation state. But we know that Z star inside thallium is very, very high. As a result, whenever it has the possibility of gaining 2 electrons, it will immediately gain those 2 electrons and convert into Tl+1. Okay. Similarly, lead also, whenever it is in +4 oxidation state, it will immediately convert into +2 oxidation state and becomes more stable. Okay. Is this clear? And this inert pair effect, you need to apply only for the group 6, period 6 elements. This is called as inert pair effect because these 2 electrons, S के 2 electrons जो भी है, they are becoming inert. They are not participating in the bonding. If I am having +1 as the more stable oxidation state, okay, if I am having +1 as the more stable oxidation state, I am unable to utilize these 2 electrons in bonding. Na? If I am utilizing these 2 electrons also in bonding, it will become +3 oxidation state. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
So the 2 electrons in the s orbital doesn't participate in bonding, or they are becoming inert. Hence the effect is called as inert pair effect. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
इसके ऊपर एक क्वेश्चन भी देता हूँ, 1 मिनट. The reluctance of NH2 electrons to participate in bonding is called inert pair effect. And ये किस वजह से हुआ है? Because of poor shielding of 5d and 4f electrons. Okay. And आप लोग को ये भी समझ में आया होगा, gallium's +3 oxidation state is less stable when compared to the aluminium's +3 oxidation state, because in gallium the Z star is significantly increased because of poor shielding of 3d. अभी इंडियम के केस में क्या होगा? इसमें 4d भी रहेगा poor shielding और 3d भी रहेगा. ओके, सो इसमें भी Z स्टार थोड़ा ज्यादा है, उसके वजह से उसका +3 फॉर्म करना रिलेटिवली डिफिकल्ट होगा व्हेन कंपेयर्ड टू द +3 फॉर्मेशन इन गैलियम. एंड थैलियम के केस में Z स्टार और बढ़ने की वजह से Z स्टार बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ चुका है बिकॉज ऑफ प्रेजेंस ऑफ 4f इलेक्ट्रॉन्स टू. सो द lower oxidation states become more stable only in case of period 6 elements. यहाँ तक उन higher oxidation state only will be more stable when compared to the lower oxidation state. मतलब indium's +3 is more stable than +1 only, but इनके comparison में indium's +3 will be less stable when compared to the gallium's +3. Indium's +1 will be more stable when compared to gallium's +1. I hope that particular part is clear. Okay. Moreover, if you want to remove the electron from an s orbital is more penetrated towards the nucleus, right? अभी इस particular context में Z star भी बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुका है and you need to remove the electrons from the more penetrated s orbital. उसके वजह से भी these particular electrons will become inert. So I can also write one more statement. Net pair effect जो भी है, it is due to the penetration power of ns electrons and also due to poor shielding effect of 5d 5d and 4f subshell electrons. Tell me the order of oxidizing agent strength. GeO2, SnO2, PbO2. The order of oxidizing agent strength of these oxides: GeO2, SnO2, PbO2.
CO2 greater than SnO2 greater.
Greater. GeO2 greater than. What is meant by oxidizing agent?
Gives electron.
Oxidizing agent.
Reduction.
Oxidizing agent oxidizes others, itself gets reduced.
Reduced.
Okay.
It gains electron.
If it is getting reduced, it has to gain electrons. In GeO2, SnO2, PbO2, if you see the oxidation states, germanium is in +4 oxidation state, Sn is also in +4 oxidation state, lead is also in +4 oxidation state. Okay, and all of them belong to group group कौन सा है?
Oxygen group 16.
16.
Okay, all of them. Okay, group 16 का इसमें दिया नहीं ना मैंने. नहीं, group 14 है. Germanium, Sn and group 16 किसने कहा? Group 14. Okay, so the possible oxidation states are either +2 or +4. So if it is acting as an oxidizing agent, it has to accept electrons. If it is accepting electrons, these elements convert into +2 oxidation state. Out of these three elements, which has the highest tendency to convert into +2 oxidation state?
PB.
PB. PB. Down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state increases and higher oxidation state decreases. So +2 oxidation states की stability क्या है? GE
Less than
Then SN lesser than.
PB.
GE +2 is less stable when compared to SN +2 when compared to PB +2. So PB has very high tendency to convert from +4 to +2. So if I'm putting electrons, close to these oxides, PbO2 will be having the highest tendency to accept those two electrons because its +2 oxidation state is more stable when compared to SN's +2 and GE's +2. Down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state increases. So what will happen to the oxidizing agent strength? It also increases. GeO2 is less than, SnO2 is less than PbO2. I hope this is clear. Everyone, this is the most common question. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope this is clear to everyone. इनट पेयर इफेक्ट में होता क्या है? Down the group, the stability of lower oxidation state increases and the stability of higher oxidation state decreases. Okay. And if we are going to period 6, in period 6 elements, the lower oxidation state is more stable when compared to its corresponding higher oxidation state. TL+1 is more stable than TL+3. Pb+2 is more stable than Pb+4. Bi+3 is more, sorry, इधर उल्टा लिखा ना मैंने. Bi+3 is more stable than Bi+5. TL plus is greater than Pb+2 is more stable than Pb+4. Bi+3 is more stable than Bi+5. Okay. Okay. ठीक है, थैंक यू एवरीवन. इधर तक ही करेंगे.